Good morning everyone. Welcome again to the video tutorial of class 6 science chapter number 2, that is components of food. So students, in the last video we were revising the various components of food like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, roughage and water. Okay. So we all know that various components of food perform different functions in our body. Different components has the different function in our body. Okay, so we must include all those components in our diet to prevent ourselves from various deficiency diseases. Okay, and we know that the diet which contain all the nutrients or all the components in adequate or in sufficient amount, that diet is known as a balanced diet. The diet which contain all the components of food in proper or in adequate amount, that diet is known as a balanced diet. Okay, and that diet is necessary for the normal growth and the development of our body. So today, first of all, we will discuss about the balanced diet, and after that we will discuss the various deficiency disease which occur due to the deficiency of these nutrients. So first of all, we will discuss the balanced diet. So let's start. So what is a balanced diet? The diet which contains all the nutrients in right amount and also have good amount of roughage and water, that is known as a balanced diet, which consists of adequate amount of all the nutrients and roughage and water also, that is known as a balanced diet. And sometimes due to the deficiency or due to the lack of nutrients in our diet, our body does not function properly. So it is very important to consume a balanced diet every day. It is very important. And so what is the importance of balanced diet? A balanced diet provides natural disease prevention. It prevents us from natural diseases. It also helps in weight control and proper sleep without the use of sleeping pills. And a balanced diet is also important because it enables you to meet your daily nutritional needs and enjoy a higher overall quality of life. It helps us to keep yourself healthy and fit, and it also provides you all the nutrients in adequate amount. So to consume a balanced diet is very important. All right. And sometimes due to the deficiency of these nutrients in our diet, our body or any part of it does not function properly, and that condition is known as a disease. A condition which does in which our body or any part of it does not function properly, that is known as a disease. And these disease may occur due to several reasons, like the lack of nutrients in our diet, or due to the presence of harmful organism called bacteria or germs in our body. Not only bacteria, actually, the microbes are also responsible for the disease. So presence of microbes or the lack of nutrients may cause many diseases in our body. So, and the disease which causes due to the lack of these nutrients does not spread from one person to another. So these diseases are known as non-communicable disease, and they also known as the deficiency disease, because these disease may occur due to the deficiency of nutrients in a diet. And the disease which causes due to the presence of microbes in our body, that disease is known as non sorry communicable disease, because these disease may spread from one person to another. And Nowadays, a communicable disease is spreading very severely in our country and also in the world, that is known as coronavirus. Coronavirus occur due to the presence of microbes or due to the presence of virus. So the diseases which occur due to the deficiency of nutrients are known as deficiency disease, and the disease which spread through germs or through microbes are known as communicable disease. Now let's discuss the deficiency disease first. So deficiency disease may occur due to the deficiency of any nutrients like proteins, vitamins, minerals. So first we will discuss about the deficiency disease of vitamins. So vitamins are of different types like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K also. So the disease which occur due to the deficiency of vitamin A is a loss of vision, and the symptoms of are poor vision, loss of vision in darkness, and sometimes the complete loss of vision. So due to the deficiency of vitamin A in our body, we may not be able to see anything in the dim light or in the darkness. All right. So it is very important to include the sources of vitamin A in our diet, and the sources are green leafy vegetables and carrots, fish liver oil and liver. There are so many sources of vitamin A. The next type of vitamin is vitamin B1, and the deficiency disease is beriberi. And what are the symptoms of this disease? The symptoms are the weak muscles and very little energy to work. So the person who suffers from beriberi may have the symptoms like weak muscles and they have very little energy to work. So the sources of vitamin B1 are the whole grain cereals, yeast, nuts, pulses and liver. So we must include these sources in our diet to prevent ourselves from these diseases. So the next vitamin is vitamin C, and the deficiency disease is scurvy, and the symptoms of this disease are bleeding gums, wounds take longer time to heal. The person who suffers from scurvy may have bleeding gums, and the wounds of that person take longer time to heal. And there are so many sources of vitamin C. We have so many sources like amla, all citrus fruits like lemon, orange and uh, orange and tomato, and all guava also, and all green vegetables have this vitamin C. So it is also necessary to include the sources of vitamin C in our diet. All right. Now the next vitamin is vitamin D. The deficiency disease is rickets, and the symptoms of the disease is bones make becomes soft and bend. So the person who suffers from rickets may have the symptoms like his or her bones become soft and bend. So there are so many sources of vitamin D. We have so many sources like milk, egg yolk, fish liver oil, uh, butter also, and the most important source of vitamin D is sunlight. So vitamin D is produced in the body when the skin is exposed to sunlight. Sunlight also gives us vitamin D. All right. Now the Apart from these vitamins, we have vitamin E and vitamin K also. So vitamin E is essential for the normal functioning of muscles, and also for the protection of the liver. And the sources of vitamin E are the green leafy vegetables, milk, butter, cereals, grains, and vegetable oils. And the next vitamin is vitamin K. And there are so many sources of vitamin K, that are green leafy vegetables, tomato, soya bean oil, and so on. So the function of vitamin K is, it is necessary for the normal clotting of blood. And the person who suffers from the deficiency of vitamin K also have the problem in clotting of the blood. So whenever a person who suffers from the deficiency of vitamin K uh, may have wounds, so it takes very long time for his or her blood to clot. So the vitamin K is responsible for the clotting of blood. Now the next nutrient is minerals, and the minerals are also of many types. First mineral is calcium, and the deficiency disease is bone and tooth decay. And what are the symptoms of the disease? The symptoms are the weak bones and tooth decay. So a person who suffer from the deficiency of calcium may have weak bones and tooth decay. And there are so many sources of calcium, and the sources are the milk, cheese, eggs, green vegetables, whole grains, cereals, and meat also. So the calcium is also important for the normal functioning of our body. Now the next mineral is iodine. The deficiency disease is goiter, and the symptoms are glands in the neck appear swollen. And the mental disability in children. So the deficiency of iodine causes mental disability in children, and the glands which are present in the neck appears swollen. So there are so many sources of iodines are also present, like iodized salt, green leafy vegetables, and the seafood. So we must include the sources of iodine in our diet, because it also causes the mental disability in children. Now the next mineral is iron. The deficiency disease is anemia, and the symptoms are weakness. So the sources of iron are the green leafy vegetables, legumes, spinach, jaggery, groundnut, and all cereals. And it is very essential for the formation of hemoglobin in the red blood cells. And because hemoglobin carries oxygen from the lungs to the different parts of the body through the blood, so blood is also necessary for our body. And for this, iron is responsible for the formation of blood, so we must include the sources of iron in our diet. All right, so this is all about the vitamins and mineral deficiency disease. Now the next type of deficiency disease occur due to the deficiency of proteins. So let's discuss it. The next type of disease are protein energy deficiency diseases. Suppose a child does not get enough proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in his or her diet. So what will happen? He or she is likely to suffer from protein energy deficiency diseases. And there are two protein energy deficiency diseases. First one is kwashiorkor, and the next one is marasmus. So kwashiorkor is caused by the severe protein deficiency in the diet. Due to the severe protein deficiency, kwashiorkor occurs. and this disease is common from the children of age group 1 to 5. This disease generally occur in children from 1 to 5 years of age. All right, and the symptoms of disease are the stunted or the retarded growth, and the skin becomes dry and scaly, hair becomes reddish, and the body swells up due to the retention of water, or you can say that the pot belly means the belly looks like a pot, and the limbs becomes thin and bony, the liver gets damaged, vomiting and diarrhea are also very common in this disease. So the deficiency of proteins in the diet of children may cause this disease, which is known as kwashiorkor. Now the next type of disease is marasmus. So marasmus occurs due to the severe deficiency of proteins, carbohydrates and fats in the diet of the children. And the marasmus generally affects infants which are under the age of 1 year, or which are under 1 year of age. And the symptoms of marasmus are the poor muscles development, the uh, development of muscles does not occur properly, and the bones showing, you can see here the bones of the child is showing, there is no fat on the body, and the bones become very thin and so weak that the child may not even be able to move, skin becomes dry, weak legs, anemia, loss of appetite, grossly underweight, and mental retardation, reduced resistance to disease. They can catch diseases very quickly, and the ribs become very prominent, and sunken eyes, unable to digest and absorb food, and may suffer from diarrhea also. So due to the deficiency of proteins in infant, this disease may occur. You can see here also the symptoms of marasmus are the sunken eyes, the thin and bony face, and the poor growth of the children, the ribs clearly visible through the skin. So these are the symptoms of marasmus. So this is all about the protein energy deficiency disease. Now this is all about the deficiency diseases, but do you know that there are some disease which occur due to the excessive intake of food also? So let's discuss the disease which is caused, and which is caused due to the excessive intake of food, and this disease is nowadays very common in human beings. So let's discuss it. So, just as the deficiency of nutrients in our diet leads to the diseases like marasmus, like kwashiorkor, and anemia also, but the overeating of the rich foods also leads to an overweight condition, and the condition is known as obesity. The condition is known as obesity, and an obese person suffer from heart related problems also. And what is that obesity? Obesity is very common today. It is very common it is very common today, and it is a situation where a person gains excessive and abnormal weight. A person It is a condition in which a person becomes overweight, and he remain inactive and lazy also. And this obesity has affected 1 out of every 5 individual in the world. So this disease is spreading very fastly, you can say that. And the person who is obese remain inactive and lazy. Nowadays many people, especially children eat a lot of junk food. So the children like you eat a lot of junk food such as burgers, chips and soft drinks also. And all these food items contain a large amount of fats and sugar. All these food items contain a lots of fat and sugar, and due to the lack of physical activity, fats get accumulated in the body. If we are consuming, or if we are including the nutrients which are rich in fats in our diet, and we never do any physical activity, and we are eating the food rich in carbohydrates, rich in fats regularly, so what will happen? These fats get accumulated in the body and causes a disease which is known as obesity. So we have to avoid eating junk foods, and we have to exercise regularly to maintain or to remain fit and healthy. So the obesity cause many other diseases like heart related problems, hypertension, blood pressure, and many more. So we have to include the food rich in fats, carbohydrates, and proteins in our diet, but we have to do physical activity also, so that it should not accumulated in our body. All right. There are so many causes of obesity, like the excessive intake of sweets, excessive intake of junk food, unhealthy drinks, and also the rest at home. So these are the causes of obesity. And how can we prevent ourselves from this obesity? That we have to drink a lot of water, uh, minimum 6 to 8 glasses of water every day. We have to do exercises also. We have to breathe fresh air. We have to go outside when the sun is out. We have to learn to relax. We have to eat fruits, we have to eat vegetables, we have to eat whole grains, and if we want to eat meat, so we have to choose white meat, and we have to get to bed on time, so so that we can prevent ourselves from obesity. All right. So we all know that we have to include the food rich in nutrients in our diet, but do you know that the cooking of food result in the certain loss of certain nutrients also? So cooking improves the taste of food material, but it also uh, results in the loss of certain nutrients. But we have to cook this food to make it digestible. And how the loss of nutrients takes place? If the cooking is done in excess of water and the water is thrown away, so what will happen? The many water soluble vitamins and the minerals are lost. And if the cooking is done at a very high temperature, so then also many proteins and vitamins gets destroyed. And if the thick peels are removed from the vegetables and fruits also, then also uh, there is a loss of food materials and its nutrition. So we have to reduce these losses. But how can we reduce these losses? How can we prevent our food from the loss of nutrients? So first one is when peeling the skin of the vegetable, do peel as thinly as possible. We have to peel the vegetables and fruits as thinly as possible. Next one is do not cut vegetables into very small cubes, as each small part comes in contact with oxygen and destroy vitamins. So we have to cut the vegetables into large pieces. Okay. Now the next is do not soak vegetables if you must soak. So use up the soaking water to knead dough and the prepare soaps and gravies. Okay. So this is all about the chapter number 2, components of food. So students, one more thing, that you have to do your worksheets regularly, and you have to submit it on Ursal, and you have to attend the Zoom classes also regularly. Okay. So keep yourself safe and healthy. You have to follow the COVID-19 instructions also, that you have to wear mask whenever you go outside or inside house also, and you have to maintain social distance, and uh, you have to wash your hands regularly also, and do not share your food or drink with anyone. Okay, so thank you and see you in the next video.